Everybody, welcome to Divine Feminine Astrology, and I just want to thank you for being here. Today I'd like to talk about Venus in Scorpio, and this is really interesting. This is coming up on September 10th and will last through October 7th, and I definitely intuit that it's going to be very relative. So the message that I had come through about this is that we need to get literally crystal clear on what it is that we want and what it is that we feel Venus is calling us towards. But this isn't going to be an easy journey. It's almost going to be like in Egyptian mythologies, where we're going to have to go through the underworld first, the underworld of our soul, and kind of find that information that's way down there underneath the programming. So, let's see. I'm going to read my notes here because I just function better that way. I'm a reader and a researcher. But the first thing I want to say is get ready to go on an intuitive journey, which will have the capabilities to make you wiser at the end of this upcoming cycle. This is deeply committed, deeply psychic energy, psychic stuff, really intuitive stuff for sure, guys. My sister, for example, and her husband are both Scorpios, and wow, do they really represent the beauty of long-term learning. They are always learning, reading, excelling, succeeding. It's kind of like you look at them as a couple and you're like, what's y'all's problem? You're like perfect at everything you do. It's like ridiculous, but really I realized that that's such a good example that my sister sets in her marriage in the world that way. But I really think that it's not just accident. I think that they are literally unconsciously or subconsciously harnessing this Scorpio energy because it is really psychic, really intuitive, and also incredibly intelligent, kind of like the womb. It reminds me of the womb, when you're growing a baby, your body is just so intelligent. It knows what to do. It knows how to grow the baby, it knows how to protect you and the baby. And that's kind of something that reminds me of Scorpio energy. It's water energy, and it's deeply intuitive, and it just knows. It reads a book, it gets the messages or signals that it needs from learning, and then it just succeeds in life. There's no struggle. So anyway, it's just really interesting to me. So I've been researching the Scorpio energy this week because I don't know a lot about it, and that's kind of my favorite part of astrology. And then another reason that I started to study it is because I realized that in my own chart I have Venus in Scorpio. So if I don't know anything about Scorpio and I have Venus in Scorpio, that's probably a problem, right? That probably means love is going to be sort of confusing for me, or not necessarily just love, also like self-love and just relationships in general. So I'm trying to become more aware of what I need, in relationships and in social communications and comfort and confidence in life. And I think that Venus comes forth to show us this part of ourselves. So side tangent, sorry about that. I'm going to go back to my notes here. I wanted to say, secondly, I've hardly paid any attention to Venus in my own chart, but she's absolutely asked me to do this lately. I've felt this intuitively, especially if you follow the moon. The moon has been very powerful this week. I think, Venus is gearing up for some major intuitive stuff. But anyway, I realized that this is a super important time, intuitively speaking, for all of us when it comes to community connections, relationships, confidence, the way that we sort of connect to one another. And it's really important that we start to apply Scorpio concepts in these areas, that we're not just having these surface level relationships or surface level communications, because they actually take from our energy. So we need to be like Scorpio in our relationships, especially in our relationship with ourselves. And we need to go within and protect ourselves, especially energetically speaking, I think. So technically Venus is at her detriment here. So this is, I tried to find some information from astrologers that I like on this. And of course they had negative things to say about Venus going into Scorpio. It's going to be dark and dangerous. And I'm like, how come do they always say things like that about things I have in my chart? I don't really think I'm dark and dangerous. Mysterious, 100%, but dark and dangerous, come on. I don't know if that label is appropriate or not. Just saying. And for any other Scorpios out there, I'm sure you understand that this is probably very likely a very misinterpreted sign. I know that I definitely have misinterpreted my sister all of our lives just because I've never understood her and why she was so protected and just in her own world. And now that I'm studying Scorpio, I'm starting to understand, like, wow, she's probably just deeply intuitive, and she probably just knows, like any Scorpio does, I got to protect myself in order to be this genius and this boss in life and to have everything I want, which I will just magnetize through intuitive energy towards me. But I have to protect myself. I can't bring everything towards me with that magnet. I only want to bring what is at the depths of my soul calling me. So I think that's the most important part of Scorpio that we have to learn, especially with Venus in Scorpio. We're looking for depth here. So that's really important. Two other things, guys. Let's see. One question I wanted to pose, and if you guys have any ideas, please leave me some comments below if you can find where or what sign Venus is in, or where there's Scorpio in your chart. Either one of those things. Look for Scorpio as well as Venus if we're going to talk about this kind of stuff, this relational energy and this confidence, self-confidence kind of energy in life, and happiness too. I like this question I thought of. How can we harness the beauty and depths of Scorpio energy with this transit? So this is supposed to be a dark transit. I don't know about all that, but it's a mysterious transit, and that we're going to go on an emotional journey is what I heard an astrologer, Molly McCord, say today, an emotional journey with Venus and Scorpio. So let's just be prepared for that. I'm not afraid of an emotional journey. I mean, come on, that's usually where like the cool stuff happens, but you do have to feel. You do have to use your emotions. And I'm really trying to do this lately because I've gotten a little lost in the Virgo rising part of myself where I'm just like, deep, type it all out. Everything's perfect. Life is perfect. And I'm at a point, in the cycle where, in Venus's cycle, where I want to go deeper than that anyway. Why do we communicate the information that we communicate, what is the most beautiful to us? What do we love about ourselves and about others? And how can we focus more on that and on the deep stuff that really matters? Nothing superficial here. Even though on the surface, maybe things seem superficial with Scorpio, but it's really, I think it's that protective thing. So I think we're going to be feeling a little protective of ourselves and maybe of others that we really care deeply about. And that's fine. That's great. We can do that too. So my intuition is simply telling me to honor the Scorpio parts of my chart. So we can all do this. And like I said, I've ignored Scorpio before because I've been like, what is up with that stuff? But we can do this by learning about this deep, beautiful, mysterious energy of Scorpio, by muting out typical stereotypes that surround it, because it's definitely offering more to us than our typical thoughts and typical feelings might initially be able to interpret. Because again, this is all about the depths, going deep down to figure out what we want and what we love, and only going for that, only putting our energy in that, so that our world is the most beautiful, profound, intuitively correct version of what we've got going on in our dreams, So this is really important interpersonal work to do. It's one of the personal planets, Venus. So let's focus on Scorpio traits: bravery, courage, protectiveness, and leadership as well. Venus in her cycle is trying to figure out who she can trust, is another thing I heard from Molly today, another astrologer. Who can we trust? That's really important thing to discern. So let's take a couple of weeks to do that this fall here. And I think now is also the time to focus on your intuition above everything else when it comes to your own beauty, happiness, fulfillment, and go ahead and reflect on what the depths of your heart really want. Now is the time to do that. Now's the energy for that we're coming into here on September 10th. And then last, I just wanted to show this nice little card that's been sitting on my desk this week. Okay, let's see. This is from the Fairy Oracle, I believe it's called. And this card says protection. It has these beautiful colors that to me represent the chakras. Here, especially we have this, blue one in the front. Blue is our voice, So anyway, I think we need to express ourselves this season, but really like to us first, connect with our intuition first protect ourselves first, and then we can start to venture out with greater clarity into what we're looking for next after we've taken the time to do that first with Venus in Scorpio. So this says, the fairies of protection are shielding you with a magical fairy ring of love and light. Practice psychic protection before embarking on any spiritual work. And I think that's really important right now. If we're going to be doing this work that sort of, goes to the dark side in a sense to find what really matters to us, we do need to be studying psychic protection and making sure that we're visualizing a shield around us every single day, doing heart center visualizations with gold light, a lot of that Melanie Beckler kind of stuff. If you want to check out her angelic visualization, meditation kind of stuff on YouTube, she's awesome for that. But I think that's all I want to say. Oh, one last thing. Just that Scorpio is incredibly clairvoyant. So let's get clear. Let's get, again, crystal clear on this transit, what Venus means to us and what we feel deeply that the goddess of love wants from us in these next few weeks as we'll be approaching Halloween. So anyway, thank you all so much. This is Divine Feminine Astrology. Thank you so much for your support. And please leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, reach out to me. I'm looking to speak with other people about starseed and astrology and tarot kind of topics. So hopefully I will talk to you soon. Bye. Love you.